The Zone presents Armageddon Expo. Awesomeness. A state of constant awesomeness.
Try it. Just a mouthful.
I don't like green food.
Where's the meat?
Have they got any chips?
I'm not afraid. I'm up for it. I'll give him a taste of the dwarfish iron right up his Jackson.
It was cast by Peter Jackson because of his wonderfully expressive acting. Peter then went on to put a whole bunch of prosthetics on his face and cast him as Ori. I give you, Christchurch, the one, the only, Minimus! Oh, sorry, it's Adam Brown! Woo!
Hello. Hello. Thank you. Oh yeah, it's a sort of a short film that I did. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's a comedy short, and yeah, it's done pretty well at the like won Best Comedy, I think, in Toronto and Chicago. Yeah, basically it's Gladiator. I take on Gladiator the movie, but with me playing Russell Crowe. So rather than Maximus, it's Minimus, and yeah, I'm a terrible gladiator. But yeah, it's online, so you should try and check it out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, lots of whistling involved, and me just going, oh shit. Yes, please.
That's where I'm going wrong, I'm charging.
Thank you. Oh my god. I guess you're talking about the famous barrel scene in Desolation of Smaug, which is honestly the worst experience of my life. I don't know if any of you know, I've got a phobia of fish. I hate them. I've always hated them. Like if you're in a, you know, sometimes you're in a Chinese restaurant and you see a tank and lots of fish, I always have to face the other way. I just can't. I mean, they're fine on my plate, but when they're swimming, I hate it. And then, of course, Peter Jackson chooses, I think, 6 dwarves, or maybe even less than 4 dwarves to do the barrel scene, and it's where Bard is pouring all these fish over the top of us to hide us whilst he goes into Lake Town. And so I get the call the night before saying, Adam, Pete thinks it'd be really funny if you're one of the 4 people that is covered head to toe in fish. And I didn't say anything because it's like Peter Jackson, you don't want to go, oh sorry, I can't do that. So I did it, and it was horrific, yeah. Smelly, wet fish. The size, they were huge, about this big, because we're dwarves. Real, all those prosthetics, all the CGI in these 3 movies, and they had to use real fish. And literally, they had a bucket load of fish that would pour on me. And to this day, I can still smell fish juice on me. I'm sure I can. Yeah, horrible experience. I did, yes. He's lovely. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so grateful to be a part of these films. Firstly, I fell in love with New Zealand. Who wouldn't? Although Christchurch I've never been to, so I pretty much know all of New Zealand except Christchurch, so I'm really happy to be here. Yeah, so I'm really thankful, and you know, it was my first film, and Peter Jackson calls me, and you know, those things don't happen, and it did, and I'm very grateful. And you know, the friends I've met, cast, crew, New Zealand as a whole, it's absolutely 100% changed my life. So I'm very thankful that Pete liked what I did, yeah. My favourite movie of all time? Or movies I've been in? No, I've been in all of the Hobbit movies, and I'm currently in Australia at the moment filming Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
Yeah!
So, yeah, that comes out in 2017, so you might have to wait a long time. But I'll give you a little top secret. I have a beard in that as well. That's that's my comedy troupe. Back at home, I was part of a double act. We did sketches, we did Edinburgh Festival. We actually toured New Zealand in 2005 with a show called Hot Pursuit. And it was a very silly show where we're very silly, we muck around on stage together. So I did that for 10 years. And I'm still writing with my comedy partner. And yeah, we will be doing stuff again. But what it is and when it is, I don't know.
Will you tour again? Because I did get to see you in 2005.
You saw it?
That was brilliant.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh my, I've never met any New Zealander that saw it. Where did you see it?
Oh, where was I? Sorry, it was during a phase where I wasn't always sober.
Okay. This is now therapy.
I want to say Wellington.
Wellington. Yeah, we did Wellington.
Yeah, no, it was Wellington. It was Wellington.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes, no, it was great. I
Thank
thoroughly
you.
enjoyed it. Cried a few times with the laughter. It was good.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, I'll write that on the poster. Gosh, my whole life's a comedy sketch. I don't know if there is one offhand.
Something from Minimus.
It's just this in a toga. I do very little acting. I just am the characters you see usually. I'll have to think about it. You have to come back and give it to me. Well, I've got to say Ori, of course, but without Ori, gosh, I think my favourite dwarf would probably be either Dwalin or Dory. I love Dwalin because Graham's a great friend of mine and he'd really kick some ass. Actually, I'd love to play Dwalin, that would be quite good fun. It'd be a whole different film. It'd be a carry-on movie, but yeah, I'd love to, Dwalin I think. And Dory because he's a fusspot, like my big brother. Oh my gosh. That's a really good question. I mean, if I'm really honest, when I went to the set, being my first film, I was bricking it, you know, working with these amazing actors. And I think you just almost have to forget that and do what you were hired to do. And don't try and copy anybody else. There were 13 dwarves, you know. All of us have different acting styles, and if you try and copy someone else, I think you ultimately are not honest to yourself and you fail. So I think you know what you do. Be confident in what you do. You know, I'm not going to be Dwalin. I'm not going to be Butch or give really gruff speeches, but I will give something different. And yeah, I think. Does that make sense? Just don't try and be influenced by everyone else. Learn from everyone else, but do what you do and do it well. I had to lose a lot of weight. A lot of inner dialogue, mentally. No, it was great, yeah. I'm actually the only dwarf that appears in 4 movies. No, I just think I am a bit nerdy and geeky. Well, Peter Jackson is a real big Dad's Army fan. And I think the idea of Ori was centred around Pike in Dad's Army. I don't know if you know it. So, yeah, that's how I kind of got in that vibe. Although I didn't copy Pike, but I used that as an inspiration, I guess.
Come on, it was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. I'm not afraid. I'll give him a piece of dwarvish iron right up his jacksie. Yes, we did. Did we come to Dunedin? Yes, no, I'm getting confused. On the tour of my show with my friend Claire, we went to Dunedin. We performed in Dunedin. We didn't go to Dunedin. No, we went round Dunedin. Sorry.
Dunedin's lovely.
But Strathtyre was scene 88, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which was hell on earth. Almost as bad as the fish.
Say Christchurch, or you don't get out alive.
Christchurch?
I'm from Nelson, so...
I love Nelson. I loved Golden Bay.
Yeah.
Beautiful, although I got bit really, really badly. We stayed at this lovely apartment called the Resurgence Lodge there, and it was beautiful. I think my favourite place is two, actually. Paradise, because I mean, what place calls itself paradise and actually is paradise, you know? It's like, oh, you call a town paradise, you've got to live up to that, and they do. You know, it is beautiful. And also Wellington, yeah. Wellington's my favourite. I love all the towns and cities and coffee shops and bands, and all my friends are there, so yeah. I think we're all a bit like our characters, if I'm honest. Graham is an angry man who plays Dwalin. Mark Hadlow, who is Mr. Christchurch, right? He is a fussy old git, really. Jed Brophy is a wonderful energy, so much energy, it's exhausting. I think they're all very similar. And Thorin. Richard was a great leader for us, and just a perfect leader for us to certainly lead the group. Yeah. No idea. No idea. God, I've no idea. I'd blag it some way. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe run a coffee shop. There you go.
In Wellington.
In Wellington, yeah. Oh, he asked me. Yeah, Dean is a great photographer. I don't know if any of you've seen his stuff online. He's really up and really excited about the Vietnam War. So I posed for him as an alternative kind of soldier, and yeah, it was great. It was literally in his garage one Sunday. There he was with some paint, painting me up, making me all sweaty, and he had a great exhibition. And now in my house, I haven't put it up because I still think it's a bit corny to have it above your mantelpiece. But like this big of me being all butch-ish in a suit, an army suit. Yeah, but I haven't put it up yet. I don't think I've got the courage to put it up.
Nah, looks good.
No, it's a bit naff. Well, for Peter Jackson's birthday, the dwarves got together and we decided, you know, what do you buy a multi-millionaire? A box of chocolates, a bunch of flowers? No, what we do is do a dwarf naked calendar for him. And yeah, all of us were different months of the year. I think I was May. And I don't know if you know this, but Pete has actually got, I think it's the original Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I don't know if you've seen it. And he used to drive to set in it. So my dwarf naked calendar, we're all in our fat suits, was me washing Peter Jackson's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, wearing roller skates, hot pants, and a bandana blowing bubbles going. So that was that was me, May. Thank you very much. I think Pete is, I mean, this word is bandied around so much, but I think he is a genius. You know, we would all have ideas about our character beforehand, and we would try and go to Pete and talk to him about it, and he would listen, but you realised he'd got there like 5 steps ahead of you. You know, he was he could give the most simplest kind of direction, and it would just come alive. And he's just great with working with actors as well, because you do feel like you're working with a mate, you know, in Wellington, which I think there's no hierarchy. Of course, he's Peter Jackson, bloody hell, but he can talk to you as a mate, and it felt very easy and a great rapport with actor and director. Yeah. Full time? Wow, I don't know. I don't know. Ask me that question when I've done more. At the moment, it's nice. It's nice visiting places and working. I'm working the Gold Coast at the moment, so that's nice, and seeing different parts of the world. So yeah, it's nice. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. I ran, and he went action. I ran really fast, and I skidded, and as I skidded, I farted in the stunt coordinator's face, and that has gone down in history as one of the most embarrassing moments. I think the sound, you know those sound booms with the big furry thing, I think it picked it up, the sound. So somewhere on the blooper reel is a fart from Ori as he's running down a hill. So yeah, that's my most embarrassing moment. Thank you for letting me share that. Thanks very much. Would I steal anything? Jed Brophy stole a lot of things. Now, I was given my Lego character, which was amazing. I got my slingshot. Hey! Everyone's got big axes, and I got a slingshot on my wall. And at the back of my chair, I may have acquired a few gold coins from Smaug's lair, but there were thousands. None of them were going to go missing. So yeah, that's all I've got. And the memories, of course. I think they would have sorted the whole family out, wouldn't they? Get some women in there to tell us what to do. Say, don't be ridiculous, don't split up. And yeah, they would have sorted it out. Oh my God, that's such an intelligent question. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know, because I'm not very intelligent. I guess, you know, family, keeping me firmly feet on the ground. Thank you so much, thank you. Yeah, my family, I think, drama teachers, drama school teachers. I work with a great director who directs our comedy shows, and she said, you know, be playful on camera and on set. As long as I'm having a good time, then the audience will too. And I think that's one thing I try and do. Whether I'm doing something serious, that very rarely happens. But yeah, just try and have fun, because it can get too serious. You know, we're acting, we're not saving lives. That's what I think. I mean, I shouldn't say that really, but I think as long as you're having fun, I think that's the main thing. I think I always wanted to do it. I was a really good artist. I'm not very good anymore because I haven't done it in such a long time. So my big dilemma at school was what if I was going to choose art as my my A-levels and my degree, or choose drama. But drama won because it was more social, and after rehearsal you end up going to the pub. No, I think I really fell into acting, and I think I knew that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. It's hard work, especially at the beginning when nothing was much happening. So I created my own work and did my own shows at my comedy company. And then I think it's just that thing of keep on going, you know? And if that's what you want to do, just keep at it. And listen to people give you advice. Lots of people are experts at actors that are usually accountants. Or, you know, people that tell you that it's a hard profession, and it is hard, but if you want to do it, don't let anyone else stop you doing it, because lots of people will try and stop you. Do you know what? I think Bag End was pretty awesome. Like, I'd watched Lord of the Rings and I'd seen that movie, obviously. So actually going up and being in that movie was, being in that set was amazing. I think Bag End, Rivendell was amazing as well. I mean, you know, I'm just doing Pirates of the Caribbean, being on Jack Sparrow's ship. That's pretty amazing as well. Yeah, some of these sets, I think they should be the celebrated artists who do these sets. They're just amazing. Let's mix it up a bit. I'm going to get some girls in there. Get some girls. Let's get Jennifer Lawrence. She could be Dory. Who else? Okay, Nori. Nori could be Emma Stone. Yes, Emma Stone. Oh my gosh.
Barlin could be Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell, Barlin. Helen Mirren, yep. Helen's almost, no, Helen could be Thorin. And then, Oprah Winfrey, Bomber. The list goes on. Let's have an all-female dwarf race. Yay. The beard. They stuck one on me, so they could stick one on a girl too. Okay, so I was pretty lucky. I had the big slappy forehead, so this wasn't me. This was all fake. This was all fake, believe it or not, with this nose. This was all fake. They made this bigger. Bigger, it's big enough. Here, but this, and everything from there down was me. So yeah, that bit was me. And it took me about 2 hours, all in all. So an hour and a half for the makeup, and then the wig took about half an hour as well. My fetching wig, which I was convinced was going to come and the next craze and everyone was going to have that hairdo, but it didn't happen. I find it very hard to learn lines, if I'm honest, but repetition. I hide myself in a room with the script and I walk around. So I try and make cups of tea and so I'm not thinking of the line for a long time. Try and do stuff, hoover. When I'm learning a script, I have a very clean house. Because I try and do stuff to make it go in so it's not your first thing. But also, if the script's written well, and sometimes you get a lot of scripts that aren't written well, the ones that are really do go in a lot easier. You can tell, like the dialogue flows and there is a journey to it. So yeah, that's easier. The elves, well, they're all really sexy. All of the elves. Especially when you're dressed as a dwarf. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Especially seeing the army of elves, that was amazing. And all their armour and stuff. Yeah, but us dwarves don't like elves, so I'm not meant to like them. But maybe I could be a better elf. Oh, God, so hard. Do you know, I watched the Grand Budapest Hotel, and I would love to work. Is Wes Anderson? Is Wes Anderson? Yeah, I'd love to work with him. That's my cup of tea, doing something like that. Something quirky and something like that. I'm also a really big comedy fan, so I love my sitcoms. I'd love to be in a sitcom. Put me in the Big Bang Theory, I think that would be really good fun. Yeah. My favourite line was probably my chips line. Although at the time I really didn't like it, but yeah, that's my favourite line. I don't like green food. Have they got any chips? Well, this could go on. This could be a long question. Oh, the waiting around. When people say you wait around on set, oh my God, we waited around a lot to get on set. I hated the hands that they stuck on us. I hated the hands more than anything. I was the last person to put the hands on. I always went and hid. When it was just 5 minutes before shooting, I would go and hide because that was horrible. And you know, putting the makeup on every morning was exhausting, and having someone flick alcohol and prod at your face is really horrid. But having it taken off every day is amazing. So yeah, I think the makeup and the waiting round. Yeah, it was really emotional. I filmed my last day with Mark Hadlow and Jed Brophy, and we did a battle, a big fight sequence, which took about 3 days to do. It did end up being in the movie, I'm afraid, but I'm sure it will be in the extended edition. Yeah, it was the Battle of 5 Armies, and it was lovely to start my journey with those boys, Mark and Jed, and end it with them. And it was emotional. We had tears, and but it was a long, long journey for us. So partly it was a relief, and partly it was really, really sad. Well, we had lots of. We used to play a lot of Xbox games. Lots of gossiping. Mark Hadlow loves the gossip. God, I can't really remember. But yeah, I feel sorry that you know him. He's a lovely guy. In fact, I think I'm meeting him for dinner later, because he's doing a play here. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's lovely. He's lovely. He loves the middle finger. Have you seen that sketch where they cut together him doing? He hated the backstage team so much that, you know, we'd just be having a quiet coffee, and then you'd get the behind the scenes come up, and you're like, hang on a minute, we're having a private conversation here. Yeah, he hated them. But you know, Martin's great fun. I became really good mates with him, actually. Really good mates, yeah. Good fun. So, The Hobbit was my first movie, and that was cut into 3. My favourite one for that, I'm going to say the first one is my favourite. Weird or quirky? Before I even learn my lines, I look in my wardrobe to see what's the most appropriate looking type of costume. So for The Hobbit, I wore like this really terrible jumper that I found in the back with like holes in it. It was brown. I was just trying to get that kind of, when I walk in the room, try and make some kind of effort that I would look right in this movie. But no, I just need time to really look at the script and try and bring something that I can do to it, rather than going, what do they want? I think that's always better, going, what can I bring to this, rather than what do they need?
All right, that was fantastic. Christchurch, a huge, big round of applause.
Thank you.
Battleground.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.